Welcome back to the Money Script Podcast. It's your host, Johan C. Harrison. Good to be with all of you today. It's been a great start to the year. As a financial advisor, I deal with lots of different walks of life when it comes to financial planning, meaning I'll meet people that have been investing for decades and they're just looking for someone to help them, get to the next level. I'll also meet people that are just getting started. And I have to admit, I have more fun with the people that are just getting started because they really don't know what they don't know. But sometimes when you're first getting started in investing and it's right after we've had a great what they call bull market, meaning that the stock markets and the equity markets were on the rise. When you come in after a bull market, you expect that your accounts are going to do nothing but just go up. And so if you're a new investor in 2022, you've probably noticed that your investments aren't going up. I mean, maybe they have by the time of this broadcast, but as we're recording this, we're not even a full month into the year, and most of my clients are seeing a decline on their investments by like 4 to 5%. Now, that's after a year of 2021 where we had close to over 20% gains in the equity markets. So let's put that to some numbers real quick for the non-mathematicians and those that don't do math in their head. I've already kind of wrote the math down. Let's say you started an investment account in 2021 with $10,000 and you got a 20% return in 2021. That means by the end of 2021, you had $12,000. You're like, oh, this is cool. I like this investing thing. I am making money. But now you come into January and your accounts are down to 11,400. Okay. So you've lost, you can't see me do it, but I'm putting air quotes, lost on paper $600. The 5% decline. But the truth is, you really haven't lost anything. You're a long-term investor. That's what we are here at Money Script Podcast. We are long-term investors. We're not day traders. We're not trying to speculate on what's going to be the next, wave. We want to know what's going to be the wave of waves going forward. Like what are the investments we can make that are going to be making money 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now? So we're long-term investors. So we don't look at a 5% decline in a month as a loss. It's like, no, you just have a little less money than you had last month. But it doesn't mean you've lost anything. You don't truly lose until you've taken your money out. When you go to sit on the sidelines, you're like, oh, I've got my butt kicked. I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go do something else. So I encourage you to make sure you're looking at your investments with a telescope instead of a microscope. Okay. So looking long term instead of just zooming in on what happened today or in the past hour. So as I'm recording this, the markets just closed and they were down yet again. Okay. I also see that as an opportunity because if you got new money and you haven't reached that goal yet, it's a great opportunity to put a little bit more money in because guess what? The market's on sale. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, go back to episode. Well, I can't remember the episode, but go back to season 1 and why buying stocks is kind of like buying milk, and you'll learn a little bit more about buying at a discount. It's not milk, but you'll listen to the episode. You'll have some fun with it. So today I am joined by my wonderful friend, Miss Laura Lorenzo. She is an actress. She is a comedian, and she is a co-creator of Chongalicious. Her accent's better than mine. I'm gonna let her say it. She probably says it a lot better than I do. So Laura, welcome to the Money Script Podcast. So happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy and honored that you have me here as a comedian. I'm just like, yes, I'm smart about money. I'm in this
Yes.
podcast.
And you know what I love, Laura? And we've had a few conversations about this. You are able to look at all of it and just laugh. I love that. And that's probably the comedian in you. And that's kind of what you have to do with investing. Some of the stuff you have to look at and laugh. I mean, that's what I did. So I laugh about there's a stock, and this isn't a recommendation for stock, but there's a stock called Zoom. Okay. Zoom. We're all zooming right now. You know what Zoom, it's kind of like, back in the day when Google came out, before there was Google, we would say look it up on the internet. We never said go AOL it. But then when Google came out, we said, oh, now we Google things. So Google became a verb. Well, so has Zoom. I've had people invite me to online sessions, say, hey, I'll just send you a Zoom link. And then they send me a Cisco WebEx. I'm like, this isn't Zoom. I'm like, oh, same thing. I'm like, no, it's not. But Zoom stock is down. Last I checked, like 50%. Okay. It's down a lot. But does that mean that Zoom is a bad company to invest in? Well, I definitely don't think so. Okay, do your own research before you go out and buy this. Again, this isn't a solicitation. But I use Zoom like 30 times a week. I actually did the math. My average Zoom session, like this session we're doing right now, Laura, cost me about $0.015. Now, just today, Netflix just announced, by the way, Laura, you will see this when you log into Netflix, they are raising prices effective today. They're like, oh, inflation was 7% last year. We're going to raise our prices. Netflix is raising prices today. Do you think I'm going to go and cancel my Netflix membership because their price went up by $2? Will there be some people that say that's too much? I can't do it. Yeah, there's going to be a few of them, but for the most of us, no. In my opinion, Zoom's in the same position. Zoom can send me an email and say, hey, we're doubling your price. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess. So instead of these meetings cost me $0.015, they'll cost me 3 pennies. Oh, ouch.
Are you telling me that I should put Zoom on my folder of finances?
You might want to put Zoom on your watch list. That is what I'm saying. You might want to put Zoom on your watch list. It is, like I said, the price is about 50% less than where it was at the height of the pandemic. And me as a business owner, the headache or the cost of switching to a different platform, like going to Cisco or going to Google or something like that, the headache of doing that is going to far outweigh the price change. I'm going to be okay with the price change. Like I said, Zoom could announce tomorrow they're doubling my price. They could announce that they're quadrupling my price. I pay $149 a year for Zoom.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
It's not. I use it 6 to 7 times a day.
Part of your investing in yourself.
Exactly.
You're using it.
Exactly. I probably put in at least our family. I'll say as a family because Netflix is forever. All of us.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably doing 15 to 20 hours a week on Netflix.
Yeah.
Easily. And it costs me, well, now it's going to cost me $18.99 a month instead of $17 or something like that. It's almost $20 a month, but still that's $1 an hour.
Yeah. Do you have the family plan for Netflix?
I don't know. I know that my family uses my Netflix. Netflix, if you're listening, don't. Yeah, I'm not sure what plan. I think my plan is around. It's just under $20 a month. So I'm not.
You might have several different devices because there's a plan where you only have one device.
Oh yes, I do have the multiple device plan because it's on the TV upstairs and downstairs, everybody's phone.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's in North Carolina. My sister's in California.
My family using it in Florida, in Arkansas, where my little brother is at. We use it here.
Yeah. So again,
I'm not gonna on Netflix.
I'm not either. I feel like I'll miss too much. What am I going to do? Go get cable?
Absolutely not.
Please don't. So
those internet prices.
Exactly. So Laura, why don't you just tell us? I mean, I know you, but our listeners don't. And what I really love about your journey is how dynamic it's been. I mean, you've done so much and are doing so much, and you've gone from 100% Hollywood to 50-50 to 75-25. So just if you would just share us a little bit about your story and how you got into the comedic arts and voiceover talent. We left that out as well.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Lorenzo, and as Johanse said, I'm a comedian, actress, writer, director, the whole works, editor. I knew I wanted to be an actress when I was 3 years old. Well, I knew I wanted to be in the arts at 3 years old. My mom put me in dancing classes and I got the bug. And all I wanted to do was perform. My currency was applause. It still is. And I love it. I love the attention. And I'm about to get married to my fiance and he loves giving me attention. Every time I make a new video, I'm like, can you see it? He's like, oh my gosh, of course. I can't believe you haven't shown me. And I'm like, yay. So it's amazing that he does that for me. I was born in Venezuela and I was raised in Miami. And I moved to LA 7 years ago to pursue a career in acting, which thank God I've been able to do. I'm a working actress, which not a lot of people can say. A lot of people, are waiters, an actor, or do something else, an actor. I'm able to say that I'm completely self-sufficient in acting, which I'm really proud of. I've worked really hard to do. Last year was probably one of the best years I've had in my career, being 2021 and all, despite the pandemic. I was able to book a commercial for the detergent Gain, which I've been getting really nice residuals, I was able to book a voiceover as the Spanish version of Selena in Selena the series. And yeah, I'm currently working as a creative video producer for a multimedia digital company for Latinx audiences called Me Too, MITU, not to be confused with the movement Me Too, which is also a great movement, but it's not that. It's MITU. And I create videos there where I get to use my voice and I get to use my comedy chops, and I love it. And it's been great. I'm really proud of myself to where I am. So yeah.
Indeed. I will make sure we're gonna have to. You, my engineer, we're gonna have to put some applause in here. I think if I hit this button, I think it happens.
Nice. Thank you. Perfect.
There we go.
Yes.
I'll make sure to bring it since that is your currency. I love that. You said my currency is applause. That is, I think that might be my son's currency as well, because he's in film school now. Shout out to Seth. He is actually premiering his first film. He got a theater to host it for him. That's on February the 22nd. If you're in the New Orleans area, it's called Don't Talk, Just Listen. On
you must be
22nd.
Proud.
Oh, I am proud. I just don't know how I'm gonna get to New Orleans on the 22nd. I was like, son, that's a Tuesday. But he got a theater to do it. And I was like, okay, good job getting a theater to do it. Of course they're doing it on a Tuesday because it'll be a slow day for them. Now I got to get to New Orleans, and it's like a 7-hour drive, and I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm not driving to New Orleans. I love you, son. I'm not driving to New Orleans. I'll have to figure it out. I will be in Atlanta the weekend before, so maybe I can just fly to New Orleans and then fly home. Anyway, logistics, we'll figure that out. Enough about me. Back to you. So tell us about the project that you created, Chongalicious. Yeah, project, because I know I was able to meet you and your co-creator a few years back and actually see some of the work that you did. But how did the two of you first come up with the idea, and then how did you get the capital, the money to fund it? Because I know that's where a lot of folks in the arts and entertainment get hung up, is not having the capital. So how did the two of you do it?
My best friend and I, we met in theater class in high school, and we realized that we were each other's soulmates artistically. Like every time we performed on stage in high school, like it was just like magic, and it felt effortlessly. So we both went to different acting schools for college. And after we both graduated, we both decided to live together. Well, Mimi had already been living in LA, and then I moved a year later. In high school, because we were making magic together, one day we decided to make a video called Chongalicious, which in Miami, chongas are like the sexy, loud Latina girls. And they're like ruthless and they're tough and they're just the cool girls. Okay. Those are the chongas in Miami. And in LA, you'd call them cholas. They're also the cool girls, the cool Latina.
I know the cholas. I know the cholas in LA. I grew up in North Carolina, so I spent some time in Florida, but not in Miami. As a kid, it was Orlando. It was all I knew of Florida.
Right.
But when I moved to LA, yes, I was quickly introduced to the cholas. Yes.
Culture. Yeah. They're like the chongas' cousin.
And they're the ones with the big dangle earrings.
Yes,
it's the Rosie Perez's as we kind of see them. Yeah.
And the J-Los.
And the J-Los and the pink gum with the bright eyeliner.
Yep.
Yeah. I know those.
Everyone knows what a chonga is deep down. Like we all know. And so I was not cool enough to be a chonga. My mom wouldn't let me wear the hoops. She wouldn't let me put my hairstyle the way that they would or wear the sexy clothes that they wore. I was just not cool. I was a theater nerd. So my best friend, it was the same thing. We were both brought up by overprotective immigrant mothers, not allowed to be cool. So in high school, the song Fergalicious by Fergie was a big hit. And we're like, oh, it'd be funny if we made a parody called Chongalicious, where we pretended to be chongas and we talk about the chonga culture. And so we did it just as an inside joke for our high school friends. And we put it up on YouTube back in 2007 when YouTube wasn't what it is today. When if a video went viral, it was very rare. And so our video went viral, and it was just supposed to be an inside joke. And it went viral because someone sent it to a DJ in Miami's local radio station called Power 96. They sent it to DJ Laz, and he started playing it on the radio. And people started requesting the song over and over and over again, this song that we created. And one day we're sitting down and we're hearing the radio, and our song came up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's our song. And so we called them. We're like, hey, that's our song. And so they called us in. We did a radio interview with them. And from there, the song went really viral. It became the number one requested song on the radio for like 2 weeks. They were playing it at clubs in New York, in Texas. We had soldiers from Iraq at the time emailing us, telling us how their song was so funny and how it helped them. And we're like, oh my gosh, like we created a revolution. And I think it's because it was the first time that we had put this subculture on the radar. Like everyone knows what a chonga is, like you said, but you had never really seen it in media. And so, yeah, that was the Chonga Girls. And that was back in 2007. Graduated, went to different colleges, moved to LA. And in LA, I was a waitress as well. And Mimi and I were trying to hustle. And we're like, you know what? We weren't getting enough auditions. We didn't have the right representation. And we're like, you know what? We should work together and write. What should we write about? Let's write about the Chonga Girls again. It was such a big hit. 10 years ago, let's bring them back. We brought them back. We created a web series. And the capital was our own money that I was getting, from my waitress job. And Mimi and I we did everything ourselves. We wrote it, we directed it, we edited it, we filmed it, we starred in it. We did everything and created a web series. And it became really popular. And it was from there that I was able to get the job at Mitu as a social media producer because they saw that I was good.
No, that you had success, that you were because what I heard there, Laura, which is I think as important as the financial piece, is that you and Mimi said, we want to do this. Let's put together a plan.
Yeah.
And we're going to count on ourselves to get it done. Because like you said, you didn't have the right representation. I mean, though in 2007, you were getting spins all over the globe. It wasn't like folks were beating down your door to give you a record deal or record contract or throw a bunch of money at you.
And because it was a parody, we were not allowed to make money off of it. It's not our
song. It's not your song. Yeah. So that part, yeah, that's an important context there.
Oh yeah.
So
we did not make money off Chonga Girls to this day.
Wow. Well, you can't say you didn't make any money off the Chonga Girl. Well, you didn't, not off that song anyways.
The song, exactly. Yeah. We never made money off the song. What we got was a lot of opportunity. We got a lot of opportunity doing different projects that made us money thanks to the Chonga Girls. I will say that. I mean, my whole career is thanks to Chongalicious, to be honest.
That's beautiful. That is awesome. Now, didn't the Chonga Girls, didn't they do, didn't you have a theater production a couple years back?
We created a show called Last Night with Chonga Girls, which was a live stage show. And it was like a late night show, like Conan or like one of those shows. And except it was the Chonga Girls hosting. And it was great. And the whole time it was just me and Mimi bickering because that's what the Chonga Girls do. And you'd think we'd go on with the show. And we're like, no, we're going to be petty with each other. Excuse me.
So it wasn't about the guest anymore. It was just the two of you.
Oh, absolutely not. We made it about ourselves.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I remember at one point the two of you were working on a skit and you actually came to me for advice on if the Chonga Girls, because I think the whole idea is that they were getting a deal and you wanted to know what it would look like if they were sitting down with a financial advisor, like what that financial advisor would ask them, the questions so that could become part of the skit. So I'm sure that that's probably still shelved somewhere, but when you're ready to bring that back out, you just let me know. I don't have the best
absolutely
accent. I'd be happy to be a ghostwriter for someone else because someone else should play that role other than me.
No, I think it should be you. I think you have a great voice. I think you'd be great for it. And I think I feel like the skit would be like us asking you these ridiculous questions and you're trying really hard to be like, okay, I don't know if that's possible. And we're just like, okay, but why can't you do it? You're a financial advisor. Hello, help us with money. Give us money. And you're like, that's
No,
not
I
how it
don't.
works.
Oh, yeah, I could see the two of you wondering why if you invested money and then it went down.
Oh,
Yeah, and
100%.
trying to figure out what happened to your money. And
Yes. And we blame it on you because
yes,
we don't know anything.
why did Zoom lose 50%? And we're using Zoom right now. So why are we losing on Zoom? Everybody uses Zoom. Why do we lose money? Yeah, that could be fun. That could be some fun. We might
Oh, yeah.
we might have to do a whole podcast on that actually. Ideas. Y'all let us know in the comments.
Like a radio play. We could do a radio play instead of a sketch. It's like a radio sketch play.
True. No, I was even thinking that the Chonga girls could just have a meeting with their financial planner. I'll put it out as a podcast.
Oh, that's so funny. I'll talk to Mimi about that because that's great.
I say we do it. Let us know in the comments. Should we do it? Let us know. I mean, we're probably going to do it anyway, just because it sounds funny to us. So we'll probably do it. Well, thank you for sharing that journey with all of our listeners, and for our listeners out there that are striving and thriving artists. Just know, just like Laura mentioned, you've got to believe in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. As she mentioned, she was taking her own money from waitressing, or the two of them were taking their own money and investing it into themselves to create something. And though it hasn't made a lot of money for the mainstream, it's opened up opportunities for both of them, because Mimi's acting as well. I mean, I've seen her in, what did I see her in? I saw her in some major show she was in. But didn't she have to like shave her head or something for?
Yeah, it was a pilot. It didn't go through, but it was a pilot, and it was a really big deal because she was going to be one of the leads. But opportunities are going to keep coming. She's extremely talented, and I'm not worried about it. She's actually my maid of honor.
Oh, sweet. Yes. Yeah. Yes, you are getting married really soon. So excited for you. So excited. Is everything, how are things going there? You got your venue locked down? And
pretty well. I have everything planned. The next step is the small little details, getting, the ring box, the little basket for the flower girl, like little things like that, or the decorations. But we have the photographer, the catering. I have to figure out who's going to marry us.
Okay. That's an important part.
Yeah, but every, like, the big stuff, like the venue, the DJ, like all that big stuff, that's all. I'm at peace right now. We're figuring out our rings right now.
You can always just go get married at the Justice of the Peace and then let your marriage be ceremonial. So that's an idea. Lots of couples do that. So you go on your own, you do the real marriage, sign your marriage certificate, etc. And then you just have someone do a ceremony.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it. Oh, so then you can find any
married at a church, because we're both not very religious. So we're gonna, because we have to get the license.
Yeah.
And then in that same week we're gonna do the ceremony. But I still have to figure out who's gonna be the master of ceremony.
Ah, yes. Well, got it. Well, I'll check my calendar.
Okay.
As a part of our episode with all of our guests, one of the things that we're trying to help our audience learn is how to be in touch with their own money script. Because your money script is how you think and act about money. And really, when no one's watching, it's the thoughts that go through your head when you have to make a major decision, like planning a wedding, or even as simple as, do I take this job or not? Do I buy or rent my next car?
Yeah.
Can I go out tonight and have some fun? Or do I need to stay home and count my chips?
Right.
So in that, what I want to help our listeners get in touch with is their first memory of money, or memories of money, and then really connecting that to how they think about their money today, and then how they can continue to pay it forward, not only to for themselves or for their loved one, but even for their children and other family members. So we'd like to ask you, what is your first memory of money?
Well, my first memory of money, I think, I remember my mom asking for my dad for child support, because he lived in Venezuela and my mom stayed, we went to Miami. And my dad was not a fan of paying child support. He would send me probably $300 once a year. And he had money. He had a big old business in Venezuela, lots of money. He was very well off. And it was so hard for him to do that. And I remember when he finally would send me money, my mom would take me shopping for school supplies and all that stuff. And sometimes she'd be like, hey, I'm going to take $100 because we need it. Her and my stepdad needed it. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I can't get the toys that I want. I just have to get, the school stuff, because then my mom and my stepdad, they were kind of struggling. So I just remember being like, damn, like, it's funny because I went from like my dad having a lot of money, not that I ever saw that money, and my parents, my mom and my stepdad, who always struggled with money. I always had everything. I always had a roof over my head. I always had food, but, we didn't take that many vacations. I never really went shopping that often. Like I had my toys that I love, but I didn't have the latest toys, which is fine. It's fine. Some people have had less than I do, but I decided at a very young age that I wanted to make money and that I wanted to take vacations and not be worried about money. I was like, I want to make money so that I can help my family and that I can be well off, I could be, I don't know how to say this word, tranquila, like chill. Like I don't have to worry about it. I didn't want to worry about money. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I mean, I'd love that. I'm working towards it. But if I just had enough to be complacent, so that's what I've always dreamed. And then that's what I'm working towards right now. And that's why I hired you as my financial advisor, because I was like, how do I make my money grow? Because, I had savings. And even then I didn't know how to save until you were kind of like, okay, well, maybe you should save this much. Let's make a financial plan. And I was like, oh my gosh, a financial plan. Okay, that makes sense. How to pay for my credit cards on time, how to pay off my student loan. I was always very interested in, not to this day, thank God, I don't have debt. I've paid off all my debts except for the wedding. The only debt I have. But I don't have car debt. I don't have student debt. I just have money in the bank that I'm saving. And I'm really proud of myself because I did what I set out to do from a young age. Thank you. Yes. And I'm doing what I love. I'm not at a crappy job that I don't like. I'm actually doing what I love. So I'm pretty happy. I'm doing very well, I think, in life.
I think you're doing very well. And I love how your previous experience has helped you to define what your money script will be, because you grew up on a totally different money script versus what you are now creating for yourself and your future family. Like you said, now that you're getting married, family planning, wink, wink. They are going to have, thanks to you redefining what money means to you and the relationship that you're going to have with money, your children will have a different outcome than you had. And you're also putting yourself in a position where if you need to help your mother, your stepfather, you can. Shout out to you. I love how you have created this life for yourself, again, doing what you love. I do what I love too. And I know it is a wonderful feeling. Do I ever get out of bed and say, oh, I wish it was Saturday? Yes, I do.
Right. Absolutely.
But once, my feet hit the cold floor and I'm awake, it's like, yes, another day to do what I love, talk to the people that I love talking to, enjoy working with, helping them reach their financial goals, helping them to come up with a plan, become debt-free, etc. Let's go. And that's a beautiful feeling, to the point where once I'm in it, doesn't really feel like work anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. So thank you again for spending some time with us on the Money Script podcast. Please tell us, where can people find Chongalicious and just more? If there's anyone that if you're an agent, etc., and you're looking for some talent or some wonderful talent here, please. How can these individuals find you?
So on YouTube, you can type Chongalicious, CHONGALICIOUS. Yep. And my Instagram handle is Laura Lorenzo. And that's where I post a lot of my comedy. And look out for me in your TV. Well, I might be in the next commercial. So I'm working towards that.
Yeah, there's about 3 gain commercials circling. You are in one of the 3.
I am dancing.
In my network, I've only seen the other 2. I keep looking. I keep every football game that comes on. I'm like, no, let the commercials play. There's a game commercial, and I keep my mother-in-law in, and she's been, hey, a game commercial's on. I didn't see your friend. I'm like, okay. So apparently in my network, they're not they're not playing the one that you're in.
Apparently not. I'm still getting residual, so I know it's still playing.
It's playing somewhere. Somebody could see it. Just I haven't seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, we appreciate you spending some time on the Money Script podcast. And again, everyone, just take it from Laura as she shared with you. You know, if you have dreams, you have goals, whether they're in the entertainment industry or not, be prepared to put your own blood, sweat, tears, and money into those projects, and know that it may not show up at the time or to the capacity that you are expecting, but if you stay at it, it will continue to create different sorts of residuals in your life. And if you just keep at it, one day you'll wake up and say, you know what, I am doing what I love and making money from doing it. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. Oh yeah, and as I mentioned at the top of the show, if you're looking at your account and it's down right now, just maybe stop. Don't look at it, or even better, buy some more.
There you go.
So until next time, we'll see you on the Money Script podcast. Make sure you know.
Having me.
Thank you. Make sure you check out all of the funny things that the funny posts that Chongalicious has, and let us know. Should the Chonga girls come sit with their financial advisor? Absolutely. We'll make it happen. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Money Script podcast. Be sure to check out our other episodes, subscribe, follow, and give us 5 stars. Continue to send your financial questions on Twitter or Instagram at the Money Script. Go to moneyscriptwealth.com and schedule your complimentary consultation to discuss your specific goals and concerns. Financial advisory and investment management services are offered by Money Script Wealth Management PLLC, a registered investment advisory firm registered in the state of Texas and California and other states where exempt. The Money Script LLC and the Money Script Wealth Management PLLC and guests of the episode may have interest in the investments mentioned today. The opinions and views are expressed here are for informational purposes only. This material is educational in nature and should not be deemed as a solicitation for any specific product or service. All investments involve risk and a significant loss of principal. The Money Script nor Money Script Wealth Management offer tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney for specific advice about your situation. Until next time.